In this video we're looking at the forces on a parachutist and the concept of terminal velocity. I'll just play the video through first to give you an idea of what's happening, and then we'll go back and pause at important points to analyse. So that's the video played right through. Now if we go back to the beginning of the video and stop at important points. So just after the parachutist has jumped out the aeroplane, we had the forces over to the left with the weight, which is a fixed value. At the instant he jumps out the aeroplane, there's no air resistance, so it's going to start to accelerate, and then that acceleration, that increase in speed, means that the air resistance increases. So this purple arrow here, the air resistance, is going to get larger until eventually it balances the weight, and at that point the parachutist will fall with a constant speed. So there's the balanced forces at that point. That constant speed is known as the terminal velocity. So at that point the air resistance is equal to the weight. The parachutists can affect that terminal velocity a wee bit by changing their own shape, so maybe going into a tuck position. It would make them go a wee bit faster, but once again the air resistance would balance the weight. But if they open their parachute, that's a fairly dramatic difference. All of a sudden, what you have is a much larger air resistance than the weight. So you now have an unbalanced force upwards, which is going to cause the parachutist to slow down. So remember, it's not going to make them move upwards because they're already falling with quite a large negative velocity. And so the upwards force is going to slow that down to start with. And it will keep slowing it down until once again the forces are balanced. So we run it a wee bit more. There we're back to balanced forces again. The air resistance has now balanced the weight. And we're now at a new lower terminal velocity. But notice that although the terminal velocity is lower, the air resistance is still equal to the weight. Still got balanced forces. It's just achieved at a lower velocity because of the much larger surface area, which means that you get the same amount of air resistance for a much smaller speed. And then if running on to the end, the parachute has hit the ground, and that introduces another force which stops them suddenly. And that's the ideas of terminal velocity and parachutes.